Hello friends, so welcome to this lecture. In this particular demo, we'll have a detailed overview of all the options we have in case of Azure Security Center. Because see, from a security perspective, this is a great tool and the security architects or the analysts or the people who are into the security team or IAM team, they need to know that, okay, they must know that, okay, which all these features are, how they work and what all different options we get in case of security center so that we we can better optimize this tool and use the different features to basically secure our environment. So let's see how what are the different options we have. So basically, if you'll see, Azure Security Center is divided into four tabs. If you'll see on the left hand side, so in the first, we'll see the overview, detailed information about our that number of subscriptions we have covered. So this is the first option where you have the overview, getting started and workflow information. So I'll come to each and every option, don't worry about that. Then we have the policy and compliance. It basically tells which are the different policies we have applied, what kind of coverage we have, and what is the score in terms of security and where we need to improve. All those options it gives, and about the regulatory compliance or the default policies depending on the custom policies which we have configured. So don't worry if you are not getting the terminologies right now, but we'll explain in detail. Then you have is the resource hygiene, where it gives the recommendations like what kind of recommendations, what kind of work needs to be done onto your SQL server, onto your storage account, onto your VMs, all those things, all the recommendations means the security hygiene, resource hygiene, the information it gives, like what all information that recommendations needs to be done in case of identity and access management. Then it gives the information about the security solutions with all, let's say if you want to integrate other non-Azure solutions or you want to forward the data to particular SIM, Splunk tool or Azure Sentinel, how you can do that. So these are the different options like in resource security hygiene. And then we have the advanced cloud defense. We can control what kind of data is there onto the application, just in time access, and then the threat detection to really find out that okay, from where the attack is coming. So basically, it is divided into five categories. Now let's study what each and every option is and how it basically helps. So we'll just have a quick overview with the each and every option. So from the overview tab, you will be getting information about your policy and compliance score, like number of, what is the scoring basically give based on the recommendations which have been given and how you can improve those recommendations so that your score will be improved. You'll get a information that okay, which all subscriptions are covered, whether they are fully covered, partial covered. So all these information and information about your compute apps resource hygiene you'll get over here. You'll get information about the threat protection. Then here you get information that okay, whether if you want to install agents onto your machines so that you can get a more data about your workload and the type of workload which is there onto the VM, or if you want to monitor the application, so you can basically upgrade it from here, right? And then you can basically from free to standard you can do. And then you can install agents onto your virtual machines. All these options you have. And then is the pricing and settings. Basically, if I'll select the free tier, I'll get all the details, the data collection, right? And then to whom I want to notify in case if there would be anything, right? And if I'll click on here, I'll get the information that okay, which workspace should I use, right? And then like which all events I would like to get, like all security events, common, minimal, or none. So all these options are there. Then to whom I want to notify, right? All these information is available over here. And then in case of threat detection, right? Allow Microsoft Cloud App Security to access your data. So all these information you can provide. So I'll come to a workflow automation in a minute. But these are the settings which you can do in case of pricing and settings. And then is the community. It's a very good feature. Like there might be a possibility you are looking for some feature which you are not aware about. So here you can interact with the community in case of GitHub, and You might be able to see new feature. You can share your feedback with the other security guys. So it's a very good feature. You can interact with the community blog. You can see that, okay, what all recommendations are going on. Some of the people, they share data once they attend the Microsoft Ignite. They'll be able, they basically share the data that, okay, this new feature has been launched, a new video. So it might help you to secure your environment. So this is community. This is workflow automation. This is again a very good feature which Microsoft has provided, that okay, you can add an workflow automation, that okay, let's say when this kind of threat has happened, what all needs to be triggered, what all action needs to be taken, a logic app needs to be created, and then you can set a basically workflow automation. You can give a name, you can provide the resource group, and then what kind of data, like depending on the security center recommendation or threat detection alerts. Let's say if say security center recommendation is there, right? Then you need to create a logic app for that. Then there are the different recommendation you choose to you once you provide the recommendation, then you can choose that, okay, for what all recommendation you want to have that workflow automation, right? That monitoring agent should be installed. So let's say if this is the recommendation, that okay, monitoring agent should be installed, then you can create a logic app and it will basically install that monitoring agent onto that particular machine. So this is a kind of a workflow automation. First it will detect that, okay, there is a recommendation that MMA is missing, so let's through the logic app create that particular or install that monitoring agent. This is about the overview. This is the policy and compliance. From a compliance perspective, it basically tells which all subscriptions you are covered and gives you the secure score, basically, that okay, what is your score from in case of compute and apps, in case of networking, where you are. So basically to give an idea, fair idea to the management or to the security guys, to that how you can improve the score. And it basically depending on the criticality and the severity, it gives the recommendation that okay, this needs to be done and herein you can improve the score. And it gives on the basic of recommendation. So I'll show you in a minute how it does that. So let's say if I'll come to a recommendation and it says that okay, vulnerabilities on your SQL database should be remediated and its score is given 30. So let's say plus 30. So let's say if I'll remediate this particular vulnerability, my score will improve. Means if I'll come over here, so 30 will be added to 95, right? So in that case I'll be able to improve my score. So similarly for other recommendations, it will keep on adding the numbers and my it will show the overall score where I'm lacking and where I should, where I'm good. So in this way, I'll be able to improve the scores. If you really want to know how the score is calculated, you can use this Microsoft link. Then this is about the policy. So by default, when you create this recommendation, it gives you on the basis of ASC default policy, which has already been created. So this is the ASC default policy, and it has number of recommendations on the basis of policy. If you'll click on this, so these are the number of recommendations in terms of compute and apps, then in terms of networking, and then in terms of data. So these are the different security policies and which different options you have selected, on the basis of which it gives you the recommendation that okay, this thing needs to be configured and this thing needs to be worked on. Then on the basis of certain regulatory compliance also, it gives the recommendation, and it basically you can say map or scan your infra and gives you the recommendation that okay, uh, these are the recommendations as per the compliance where you are lacking and you need to work on. From here you can manage the compliance policies. Again, you can create custom policies. So let's say if you'll go to the security policy, we'll have a different lecture onto all this altogether. We'll create a custom policy and we'll see how we have created the built-in roles like in the Azure policies. So this is similar, like we have worked on the policy. And now is the resource hygiene. So in this case, you'll get the overall recommendations by clicking into this, means for your compute apps, data storage, everything. But if you'll click on compute apps, you will get related to your virtual machines, Dockers, right? All these you'll get it over here. And then in terms of networking, you'll get recommendation related to the security group, right? App services should be accessible over the HTTPS. All these recommendations you'll get in networking related, then related to IoT hub. So we'll not be able to see any because I don't have any resource. Then data and storage, you get information related to your SQL database, storage account, all these information you will get over here. You can see SQL, and if you'll click on storage account, you'll get recommendation related to the storage account, databases, Redis, SQL, and then a general overview. And then is the identity and access management or related to is your Active Directory, subscriptions related to your key vault, all these information you will get when you click on identity and access management. You can see related to subscriptions and then related to the key vault recommendations, right? All these recommendations you'll get over here. Then is the security solutions. So this is what like we have already discussed. You can integrate with the SIM solutions, like Splunk and all those things. Then you have is the advanced cloud defense, the fourth option. In this, basically again, as the name suggests, so here from you can whitelist the application, the kind of application you want to whitelist, and then it will give you a detailed information that okay, these kind of processes or these kind of software you are running on your machines, and so that there should be no unwanted software as per your organization should be installed onto your virtual machines. Then is the just-in-time VM access. So we'll have a detailed demo onto this just-in-time VX, and so that then is the adaptive networking hardening. Basically, depending on your security group rules, the configure it will give you the suggestions that okay, the how you can configure have better security policies related to network so that you can have good rules, networking rules or security network security group rules to harden your infra. Then is the file integrity monitoring, again a very good feature with the help of which you'll be able to get detailed information about your operating systems, if there are any kind of changes into the registry to prevent if there is any kind of attack or not. So there are charges for that for you need to pay. And the last section is security alerts for advanced threat detection, that okay, what kind of alerts you want to set in case of any malicious activity or and then is the again a very good feature which is currently in preview, which basically on the map will tell you that okay, from where attack is coming, or if it has a public IP address, that okay, this particular resource is trying to attack your resource which you have provisioned in Azure. So this is generally a quick uh, USK, I will not say quick, but a detailed overview of all the features which you have in case of Azure Security Center. And in the upcoming lectures, we'll have a detailed lecture onto the just-in-time access and security policies because those are very important to discuss and very important feature to protect the environment. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.